All right, man. So this is how this is going to work. These two tubes right here. So this is the intake. Mine's obviously going to look a little different because it's just the filter running off the turbo. But yours, you'll have the intake that comes down, comes all the way over here, and your filter will sit over here. But for now, it's the same setup, just a smaller filter. So this tube is the same tube that runs from your intake, and then it runs from your intake, and it runs back into here. And you see how it comes into the back of the engine right there? So that pipe right there. So you can just follow this big aluminum one all the way back to the back of the motor. But I'd recommend hooking it on right there. I think this is your evap line. I can't remember what they're called. But so basically it runs. This would normally run from here all the way down and over, and then plug into your intake right here. So you take that one out and essentially just get rid of that line, and then you'll take a hose like this. You'll have to find a connector of some sort. They welded one on for me, but there are definitely ones online that you'll just you'll take and just stick it into your intake. You can drill a hole if you want, and it'll just stick in there. Or I don't know if there's one that replaces the stock location or not. I honestly have no idea. I would talk to Ryan and ask him. But anyways, so you will take that hose out of your intake and then take it out of right here. And then you'll take your catch can. Mine is right there. And there is your boost solenoid. And it literally just mounts to the bracket of that boost solenoid. So I just took like a little Y bracket that came with the Mishimoto catch can. That little bracket and the screws and everything came with it. So I literally just took it and stuck it right on the boost solenoid screw right there. That's holding it onto the engine. So that's what holds my Mishimoto catch can up. It's really not a big deal. No big thing. And then the hoses, you'll take one hose, and these hoses came with the Mishimoto catch can. You'll take these hoses, run one from, if you're looking at the lettering on the Mishimoto on the top of it, so you can see that. So there's the M on the left side. So you'll take the tube, the little valve on the right hand side, and you'll run that up and into your intake. Now you can just drill a hole and just buy one of the map sensor mounts. So drill a little 7/16 hole and then just stick it in there. And you can buy them online. They're just little intake, what do you call them? I call them intake nipples, but that's, Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then you'll just stick that in there and then take this hose, put it in on top of that, and screw it in. Then you'll take the left side and run it back and connect it onto there. That actually just mounts right, it just goes right into there. So that one's not really a big deal. This one's kind of more of a pain because this one was custom fabricated for me. But any shop, if you really wanted to, just take your intake hose to them and tell them you need to have a nipple put on it that will go onto this, that'll fit this hose. And I'm sure they will find something, like any sort of muffler shop or exhaust shop will be able to weld one onto your intake tube for you, or just, since it's plastic probably, just screw one in. So they'll drill a hole for you and stick one in there. That's, probably like $30 worth of labor, not too much. So what this does is when oil comes out of this evap line, and it does come out of there, believe it or not, it does come out of there, runs into your catch can, gets stuck, and the clean air goes into your intake. Also vice versa the same way, because they're reverse vacuum lines. So if oil comes into your turbo and it's leaking for whatever reason, maybe a blown seal, might be just that your turbo's sucking more oil just because you have the car tuned. That's what happened to mine. And then oil will actually come through here, come into your intake, and sit there. Or it'll drain down through your turbo down into your intercooler lines and sit in your intercooler. That's not bad. That's not good. So basically, this prevents oil from coming from your turbo line, from your oil lines, sitting in here and causing a bunch of smoke when you push on the gas and boost goes into your turbo and then gets sucked out the back. So it prevents oil from building up in here inside your filter, prevents oil from going down into your charge pipe down there and sitting in your intercooler and making that weird smell, and then also getting sucked back up into your turbo and out the back. It also prevents oil from your evap line, running from your evap line, coming down into your intake, and then going through your turbo and out the back and causing smoke again. So it creates basically a protection. And if you notice, mine's a little dirty. See, like there's a little bit on there. See, there's a little bit of oil in there. For the most part, they stay generally clean. But I've cleaned mine recently. But you'll see, these tubes will get a little dirty. And they'll protect your turbo from leaking oil and all kinds of nasty crap. So there's that. As far as the things to check, this is the first thing you need to check. You need to take this thing off. So this is on your turbo also, just smaller. So right off the front of your turbo, this is your intake. Just pop that whole thing off of there. Look inside here and just see if you have any oil in there. If you have oil sitting in there, then that's where your problem is. The next one is if you follow this line, you see that hose down there that connects onto my turbo? You follow that hose. All right, that one right there. See with the silver clamp on it? Both silver clamps. You follow that hose all the way down. It leads to your intercooler. Your intercooler, and it's right there. See, there's my intercooler. That pipe leads straight up and into my turbo. It's the same one I was pointing out. See if I can get a better picture of it. No, not right now. I'm not gonna be able to get a good picture of it without seeing it, but hopefully you can see that line, or the pipe. That pipe runs from my intercooler up into my turbo. So right here, you'll probably have two clamps also. See that bolt right there? So this thing needs to come off. And it's actually generally pretty easy. You'll just unscrew those and then just pull really hard. Pull hard enough, it'll just pop off. And inside there, if you pop that off and oil starts draining out of there, you got problems. That's when you need the Mishimoto catch can on the turbo side. That protects your turbo from all kinds of nasty crap. It prevents from a lot of things. So you need to have that Mishimoto catch can on there. So if you have oil in here, you need to put that Mishimoto catch can on the turbo side. That'll prevent oil from getting down into here, filling up your intercooler, and it'll make your car smoke. You'll lose power. It's all sorts of nasty stuff, and it can even blow the seals on your turbo. So what you need to do is check this one right here that connects to your intercooler. The same pipe runs up and into your turbo. And then you need to check this one. Pop them both off. Make sure there's not oil in there. If there is, you need to put a catch can on there. Now this is just the Mishimoto catch can, the universal one that I got from Rally Sport Direct. I can explain how to put it on there for you. Just give me a call and I can help you out with it, man. Let me know if you have any questions, but essentially that should clear up any smoking issues that you have that are coming from the turbo itself, like oil being burned on both sides. If you put the UPR over there, and then you put the Mishimoto one over here, it prevents oil from both sides going where it shouldn't. And that should fix the issue for you. If it doesn't, there's something else going on within your motor that the oil's being burned, or you have blown seals on your turbo and you need a new turbo. Good luck, man. Good luck.